What's up, guys? As I do more one-on-one coaching every week and answer you guys' question right here on the channel, I think I have a pretty good grasp of all the beginner mistakes that a lot of the 420 chefs are making out there. So today I want to go over the top 5 420 chef beginner mistakes that I've been seeing and that I've been asked about a lot. Hopefully you guys will find this useful. If you do find it useful, please give me the thumbs up. If you're thinking about becoming a 420 chef or you're already a 420 chef, these are mistakes that you definitely want to avoid. So let's go ahead and get into it. Here we go. Okay, so the first mistake that I see from all my beginner new chefs is either not decarbing or not decarbing properly. It is very important, it is crucial that you decarb your flour before you start using it. You always want to decarb at 240 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 121 Celsius, for 30 minutes. Remember that we're taking the THCA and we need to activate it and turn it into THC so that way we can infuse whatever it is we're trying to cook with. I see a lot of the beginner chefs either not decarbing at all or not decarbing properly, meaning that you're not staying within the recommended time and the recommended temperatures whenever you're decarbing. You don't want to decarb at 350 for 5 minutes or try to outthink the process. Just decarb at 240 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes every time, and you'll be ready to go. It's decarbed and ready to be infused with whatever it is that you're doing. So the number one mistake that I'm seeing from all the 420 beginner chefs is not decarbing or not decarbing properly. It's very important that you do it the right way. The second mistake that I'm seeing from the beginner 420 chefs is not using clarified or ghee butter when you're making your can of butter. It is very, very important that you use clarified or ghee butter. The reason is butter is made out of 3 things. You got your butter fats, your water, and your whey. When we're talking about clarifying butter or clarified butter, that is the 100% butter fats without the water and the whey. So if you use regular butter, that's only 1/3 of the butter that the THC can bind to because it can't bind to the water and it can't bind to the whey. When you use clarified or ghee butter, that is 100% butter fat. So that means that the THC can bind to 100% of the butter. So a lot of people that you see complaining about, my butter's not potent or I'm not getting anything from edibles, that's because they're doing it the wrong way. Always use clarified or ghee butter whenever you're making your can of butter. The third mistake that I'm seeing from all my beginner 420 chefs is overcooking whenever you're making your butter and your oil. On YouTube, you can find plenty of videos where they're making their butter and their oil and they're cooking it for 4, 5, 6, 8 hours. That is completely unnecessary. If you look at any of my butter videos or oil videos, even the ones that I did without the machine, you've seen that we're always doing it between an hour to 2 hours. Usually I'm telling you guys to do it for 90 minutes. If you look on the machines, whether it's the On Rock or the Magical Butter Machine or the herbal infusers, those presets, the buttons, you can see where they have 1 hour oil, 2 hour butter, and that's for a reason. You only need 1 to 2 hours to do it. There's no need in cooking it for 4 hours, 8 hours whenever you're making oil and butter. That's for tincture. When it comes to making your butter, your oil, whether you're using a machine or not using a machine, you do not have to run it for 8 hours, 7 hours, completely unnecessary, and it gives the butter and the oil a bitter taste that I really, really dislike. There's only so much extracting of the THC that you can do before you start breaking down the flour itself. So don't overcook it. Don't make your butter and your oil bitter. The fourth mistake that I'm seeing from all my beginner 420 chefs is not using enough herbs whenever you're making your tincture. As you guys already know, the most popular video on this channel is small batch can of butter. So a lot of times people are coming to this channel to try to learn how to do things, for cheap and skimp out on it, which I understand. We always want to save money as much as we can. But when it comes to tincture, it's very important that you use the necessary amount of herbs. Nobody wants weak tincture. There's really nothing that you can do with a weak tincture. Tincture is supposed to be strong. Now you can do small batch tincture, which I did right here on the channel, with the small unrock that we sell on the website. With the small unrock, you can do 2/3 of a cup. It's the minimum amount that you can do. So you can do 2/3 of a cup to 2 cups with the small unrock. So you can do small batch tincture. Small batch meaning that you're only going to do 2/3 of a cup or a cup of Everclear whenever you're making your green dragon. But even when you're doing a small batch, you still need to use enough herbs to make that small batch potent. So it doesn't matter if you're making 1 cup of tincture or you're making 5 cups of tincture. Whatever it is that you're making, make sure that you use enough herbs so that your tincture is potent. Whenever I'm doing a 750 milliliter bottle, which is a little over 3 cups, I'm usually using between 40 and 60 grams. Something like that, because we want it to be strong. If you're doing a small batch, you want to come over to the website and get you a unrock machine, shop.goodeats420.com. Use the code THANKYOU to get $10 more off your order. But if you want to come get a machine, you can do 2/3 of a cup to 2 cups. That's a smaller batch, but you still want to use enough herbs so that it's still going to be potent. Alright guys, so the 5th and final mistake that we're going to talk about that beginner 420 chefs make is being narrow-minded. Now when people think about 420 food, edibles, they think about cookies, brownies, Rice Krispie treats, and whenever 420 chefs first start out, these are the things that they're thinking about and these are the things that they always do, which is great. But what I've been trying to do with this channel is to basically show you that anything that you eat can basically be an edible or drinkable. That's what we've been trying to show you. We've been trying to demystify a lot of this stuff for you guys so that you can see that whatever you're making, you can make it into an edible. So if you're doing tacos or pizza or ice cream or mac and cheese or turkey, Thanksgiving's coming up, or baked potato, whatever it is that you're making, whatever it is that you're like, Mexican food, Italian food, African food, Thai food, whatever it is that you're making, you can make that in the edibles. So to all my brand new 420 chefs that's coming in, welcome. Come in and be creative. Don't just stick to the normal brownies and cookies and cakes and the normal stuff that people think about when we think about edibles. You can definitely do that too. Definitely do that too and have some great recipes, but definitely be broader minded. If you're doing ribs or steak or sushi or whatever it is that you're making, you can definitely turn that into edible. So expand your horizons, think big, and go hard. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Thanks for the love. Follow me on Instagram. I am Bass Drop Keys. And until I see you guys the next time, peace and good eats. I'm out, guys. Much love.